And good evening, everyone. Welcome to Tarot Thursdays. I'm your host, Reverend Mary, and with me tonight is Reverend Don Lewis. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure to be here.
Yes, Reverend Brian is preparing to get married on Saturday. So we wish you and your beloved all the happiness in the world.
Yes,
And
indeed.
maybe you'll pop by and wave at us tonight.
And may your beard be perfect.
Yes. Hi, Raven. Good to see you.
Hi, Raven.
So, if anyone has a question for us, please go ahead and post it in chat. And Raven is wishing Brian a blessed hand fasting.
Yes, indeed.
And
And
how
may it
are
be most wonderful.
yes. Hi, Janet. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
And Raven wants to know if she will be healed of her fibromyalgia.
And hello to Renee in the chat room.
Hi, Renee. Hi, Roxy. Welcome.
Hello, Roxy.
And Roxy says, congratulations to Brian.
Oh, and hello to Eric in the chat room.
Hello, Eric.
And hello to Jan in the chat room.
Hello, Jan. Okay. Well, Raven, the first card I've got for you is the Eight of Wands. And so this shows a situation that's going to move very quickly. And then I've got the Princess of Wands, which indicates you may be holding back somehow. And then I've got the Three of Lamps, which is talking about working together in community. So, my answer is I think that you are somehow holding yourself back and that your answer is going to be found in working with other people.
And the three cards I have drawn are the Fool. Why,
Here,
why is blue dropping out? Oh, well, there it is. That's
because it's very close to green on the color wheel.
Seven of Coins and Prince of Coins. So I would be inclined to say, first, Raven is in a position where all things are possible. And so to be focusing on what Raven wants, to be focused on their goals, because it is possible. It can be done. You are in the position where you have to decide how to do it. You have to decide how to advance. And with the Seven of Coins, I'd say that decision hasn't really been made yet. You may still be looking for possible answers. You may still be looking for different things you can do, but there are things out there. So keep looking. And the Prince of Coins, be patient. Don't necessarily expect an overnight solution, but keep looking because with the Fool, all things are possible. I'm going to draw one more card because I must.
Of course.
Well, and I've drawn the universe. And the universe is happiness, success, good things. So it's saying the potential for this question is yes, getting the healing that you desire, but it requires patience, research, and taking the right steps to get there. And that's what I would say.
All right. And we have got 4 questions that came in very quickly from Eric, Renee, Roxy, and Janet. You're very welcome, Raven. I'm glad we could help. And so first, Eric is asking for a reading about his current situation.
Okay, so I have drawn the Magus, the Queen of Swords, and the Two of Wands. And the Magus, again, is a card that says what you desire, you can have here. You need to make the decision for it. You need to take the actions for it, but you have the ability to work your will in the situation. So the outcome could be very good. With it, we have the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is past experience. And it says, well, yes, but think about similar situations you've been in. Think about how they went, because it's probably going to be very similar in certain ways. And pay attention to the things that you need to do in going forward. Make sure that you get the rest that you need, that you take good care of yourself, all of that good stuff that comes from past experience. And the Two of Wands, you'll be heading in new directions presently. And there you go.
All right. So the first card I've got for you, Eric, is the Ace of Swords, and this indicates you're going to have a decision to make. Then I've got the Veil. So the way I'm reading the Veil in this situation is there's some information you don't have right now that's going to be revealed to you. But I've got the Four of Wands, so a good outcome is there for you. And I'm going to say it's probably based on the decision you make. So I think it's really up to you at this point. And hello, Kai and Jill. And we will be happy to do readings for y'all. We have a few ahead of you.
Oh, and hello, Brian.
Hello, Brian.
Brian would like cards regarding the wedding weekend. I'm not sure if we have that kind of cards.
I'm sure we can do something. And many people have wished you well for your wedding, Brian. I will add that, as do we.
Yes, indeed.
All right. So next up, Renee wants to know if the card she sent to an old friend will be well received. And I have a jumper and it fell on the floor.
Don't you hate when that happens?
I do. So I just slid more cards off the table, folks. Okay. Well, I started out with 3 jumpers for you, Renee. So I've got the Queen of Wands, which was overall a fortunate card. I have the 9 of Cups, which of course is the wish card. So basically, I think whatever you are holding in your heart that the outcome will be, it will be. And I've got the Prince of Pentacles. So if you are just reaching out to an old friend, I would say you might see this relationship kind of the reconnection start slowly and build. And then I pulled the Lovers, which indicates a choice. So you may come to a point where you consider whether or not you want to continue reaching out to your old friend. The 4 of Cups, which indicates a situation that is good, if not everything you want it to be. And finally, the Queen of Pentacles, which is a card of good fortune on the material realm. So I think your friend will be pleased. And you will just have to wait and see how your reconnection develops.
So I have drawn the 4 of Swords, the 9 of Swords, and the Prince of Lamps. And the 4 of Swords is a timeout or a rest period, which sounds like what's already been. And that it's whatever has been in this relationship has been on hold for a while. The 9 of Swords is called the Ghastly Nightmare card. And what it means is that whatever is in this situation that has to be dealt with has to be dealt with. And there may be some fear or anxiety around that, but like a nightmare, however much emotion there may be, it's not going to hurt you unless you fall out of bed trying to get away from it. So face it head on, deal with whatever needs to be dealt with, and everything will go better. And the Prince of Lamps says, don't torture yourself over it. By all means, make the gesture to reopen that door. But, you know, I too would say you may find yourself asking, do you really want to? And then I also drew an additional card, and I drew the Veil, which is worry. And I think what I would say is that whatever is here, there is an issue that needs to be dealt with. And there's a question of whether it's worth dealing with. If you choose to deal with it and go forward with it, you certainly can. But I would say don't worry too much over it. Let it be what it is. And that's what I would say for you.
Okay. And Roxy asks, do I read jumpers? I read jumpers. I think they're meant to be there.
Yep, that's what I was always taught. If you have an escapee, it means it wants to be in the reading.
I learned it from him.
The exception to that is if you have 78 escapees all at once, that just means you drop the cards.
Or
I've had that happen too.
100 escapees if you're reading with the tarot of Hecate.
That's true.
Okay.
Oh, thank you, Renee. Renee says spot on. Thank you, Renee.
Thanks,
so
Renee.
Who's next?
Roxy just wants a general reading.
And Roxy says, that's how I read too. Good.
I am holding my cards firmly over my table, so at least if I have any more jumpers, and I do, they're jumping on the table.
Yes.
Apparently the cards are just going to be jumpy tonight.
Well, that means there's a lot of energy.
Yes, well, we're just past the full moon. We're coming up on the Sabbath.
We're coming up on lustration.
We're coming
and
up
Brian's wedding.
And Brian's wedding. And the cicadas will be out any minute now.
Yes. Pardon me for a moment. As close as I am to the table, I'm not even sure how those managed to get to the floor. But they did.
I think it's your turn to go first.
I too am having a lot of escapees this evening. So for Roxy, the first card that I have is an escapee, and it is the Seven of Lamps, and the Seven of Lamps is purification. And so I would say that Roxy at this immediate future, this time in the immediate future, is going to be going through a period of cleansing and purification, letting go of old things to make way for new things. Now, the other cards that I've drawn include Two of Swords, Two of Cups, and Prince of Swords. And the Two of Swords and the Two of Cups are both cards of relationships with other people. And in this question, they might be the same person, they might be different people, but they're saying that working with other people is going to be very important in the immediate future, both internally and externally. It might be a romantic situation, it might not be a romantic situation, but it does involve other people. And with it is the Prince of Swords. We want to bear in mind our escapee dealing with purification. The Prince of Swords is healthy selfishness. And it says to make sure that as you're dealing with these other people, as you're dealing with the things around you, that you're getting what you need, because you may be giving away the farm. You may be being too generous, too patient, too whatever, and need to take a little bit more focus on yourself and what you need and make sure you're getting it. And this is interesting lighting tonight, but that has nothing to do with the reading, because there is no green in the background of this card, and yet it's dropping out. But yeah, like I say, dealing with a lot of other people, both of internal importance and external importance. Make sure you're focusing on your own needs and understand that you're going through a period of cleansing and purification. And that's what I got. Thank you.
Okay.
We want to say hello to Sam, Nicole, and Zane in the chat room.
Hello to all of you. And hello, Sam. It's so good to see you, my friend. Okay, so the first card I've got for you, and this was our jumper, is the Soul. And this card means that there is a life lesson right now, and you would do well to pay attention to it once you figure out what it is. And that's always the fun part. What is the universe trying to teach me right now? Then I drew the Hermit, and the Hermit is telling you that you know what you need to do. And don't let other people talk you into doing something else. Then I drew the Nine of Swords. It's already come up once before tonight. This is the Ghastly Nightmare card. So whatever you're afraid of, face it. It's not going to be as bad as you think it is. Then I drew the Five of Wands, and this is a card indicating conflict. So I drew one more to clarify that, and I drew the Emperor. So with the Emperor, we're reminded that nothing lasts forever. The Emperor rules over the material plane. Things come and they go. So even if things are seeming rough right now, things will move on and get better, and try to understand what the universe is trying to show you right now. All right. And Janet has asked for a birthday reading.
Okay.
So we can... Brian says he's thought about installing a net at his desk. And Eric says he's waiting on a test result. I have nothing to choose until we know what may be wrong.
But then you will.
I suspect you're going to have a choice on orders to follow. All right. Birthday reading for Janet. I'm sure somebody somewhere has made a happy birthday deck.
I'm sure someone has.
Or maybe that's an idea for an expansion pack.
True. So, I believe I'm going first this time, yes?
Well, since I'm still
Or are you?
shuffling, since
Okay.
I'm still shuffling, if you're ready, please do.
And we want to say hello to Ricardo in the chat room. So my first card is Temperance. I'll just hold it so that it doesn't drop out too badly. The Queen of Swords and the Ace of Swords. So what I would say is you come into this new year, you're in a position where you're reworking parts of your life. Temperance is making new situations out of old ones, and it doesn't necessarily mean getting rid of the old situations. It means transforming them. And so you're in a place of transformation. To do this, you want to pay attention to your own good judgment and trust your judgment, because you're going to find that you're making good decisions. You should trust your decisions. You should listen to your decisions, not second guess yourself. And you should also pay attention to past experience. And what those two things are telling me is you already know what you need to know. It's a matter of carrying forward with it. Look at how things have gone in the past. Look at what's worked out well, what's worked out badly, and apply that knowledge to the present and the future. And you will get the outcome that you need. And make sure that you trust your judgment. When you see what has worked out well and what has worked out badly, accept that, trust it, make your new decisions based on it, and you'll find that you will very much transform your life. And there you go.
All right. So the first card I pulled for you is the Fool. So this is the card of infinite possibility. You can really go in any direction from here. And it's appropriate for the start of the new year of your life. Then I've got the Prince of Wands, which indicates that there's an awful lot of energy around you, but it's not very focused. So again, you need to decide where you want to focus your energy, what you want to do this year. And then finally, I've got the Prince of Swords, who is telling you, be sure you're looking out for yourself. Be sure to include self-care. Don't give up your goals for everybody else. It's okay to be a little selfish. So I hope you find that helpful.
And who's next?
And who do we have next? All right. Jill wants to know if they will find a great place to live soon.
And Janet says, thank you both so much. Thank you, Janet. And happy birthday.
You're very welcome, Janet. And we have a jumper.
Go figure.
Imagine that.
Okay.
All right. Well, the jumper was the Ace of Pentacles.
It's a good jumper if you're going to have a jumper.
Yes, and so that indicates good fortune in the material realm. And then I drew the Queen of Swords. Yes, it's me. When Reverend Don did the Kickstarter for the deck, one of the options was to commission a card, and I asked him to draw me as the Queen of Swords because this card has been representing me for over 20 years now. So as you are looking for a place to live, bear in mind what you've liked in previous places you've lived, what you didn't like, and, you know, consider that as you consider your options. I've got the King of Cups, which is happiness. And then I've got the Princess of Cups, which can indicate holding back a little. So be sure you're expressing what you want. If you're making this decision with someone else, Don't be afraid to speak up and say, no, I don't want to live here.
So the three cards I have drawn are Temperance, which we just
Again.
saw, the Nine of Cups, which we just saw on the other side of the screen, and the King of Cups, which we just saw on the other side of the screen. And I would take the three of these. I mean, I'll go through what they mean, but I would take them to say it's good news for your pursuit of a great place to live. Temperance, again, is transforming your life, making new situations out of old situations, revitalization and rebirth. The Nine of Cups is the wish card. It's both the best and the worst card in the deck because it means what you're wishing for, you're going to get. But in this case, I think it's kind of obvious what you're wishing for. And as long as you're keeping your eye on what you actually want, you will get it. And the King of Cups is happiness, happiness with the outcome. So I would say it should come fairly quickly and you should be pretty pleased with it. And there you go.
All right. And now we are up to a general reading for Kai.
And Jill says, awesome. Yay.
Glad we could help you, Jill.
And Jill says, I'm smiling. Yay.
Wonderful. Okay, Kai, so the first card I have for you is the Fluffy. And of course, you know that Fluffy had this card drawn shortly after he lost one foot and then later on more of his leg to surgery, but he went on and transformed that into a major spiritual transformation. So that card is talking about even if things are rough right now, you can make it a positive situation. I have the Princess of Lamps. So with this card, we're talking about moving on with your own spiritual development at this time. Followed up by the Six of Lamps, which is talking about going off on a vision quest. So I'm going to say, I know you are extraordinarily busy right now, but leave yourself some time in your schedule just for your own spiritual practice.
How come the greens aren't dropping out of your cards? It's not
Because I
fair.
don't have a green screen. I'm just showing off my messy office.
So you say. So I've drawn the Two of Lamps, Justice, that blue looks very interesting on screen, not the way it looks in person, and the Eight of Wands. So Two of Lamps says in a lot of ways, kind of you're looking at your present and the future and kind of deciding what all you want to do, how you want to do it, how you want to go about it. You are in many ways, you are or are going to be focused on that future as much as on the present. Justice is getting what you're working for, so it's saying that the effort you're putting out is well expended, and it will bring you the repayment that you hope for. And the Eight of Wands says everything's going to happen fast. You do not need to be patient. You need to be prepared to move quickly, because things are not moving at a glacier pace. They are moving very fast. So expect fast developments, and expect to feel well rewarded for the things that you're doing. You may feel like you're moving faster than you really want to move, but you'll be pleased with the outcome. And Kai says, "Buckle up, Buttercup." Yeah, that's basically what I'm saying. And but it's all very positive. So there you go.
We're going to nickname that the Buckle Up Buttercup card.
Yes, we should do that.
All right. And now Brian is asking for cards regarding the wedding weekend. Okay, Brian, so what's going to happen is some things are going to go wrong, and you're going to figure it out, and everything will be wonderful no matter what. There.
Only if Don was a Marine guy, that would be fun.
If only Don was a Marine guy, that would be fun. Hi, Michael.
Hi, Michael.
Yes, I'm going to pull the cards, Brian. Okay, so first card is the Four of Pentacles. Overall, things are going to be successful this weekend. The Hermit. Go with your gut. If you have to make an executive decision, make it. Strength. You can do this, bro. If something comes up, handle it and move on.
So, I have drawn Temperance.
Again.
The Four of Cups, or the Four of Wands, rather, and the Three of Coins. And the way that I would take this, Temperance, again, is reinvigoration, revitalization, renewal. So you're going to find that this will be a very good energy, very invigorating, very uplifting energy. The picture on the Four of Wands is basically a wedding. So it will be a wedding. But this is a card of getting what you've worked for, of getting what you've wanted. It's a very positive, successful card. And the Three of Coins is mastery of craft. So you're going to feel like things have gone well. You're going to be pleased with it. All the little charts will be checked off. And I would say that overall it's just going to be a very good time. So there you go. Go forth and enjoy.
All right.
I remember my weddings. want to talk about some omens, but that's beside the point.
I remember all of mine.
I remember all of mine too. There weren't that many, though.
No, I've been married 4 times.
I was only married twice, but they were both to the same person.
I married the wrong person 3 times. Different people, but still the wrong person.
Well, you know, practice makes perfect.
I once told hubby he was the best husband I ever had, and he said, "That's not hard to do. Start off with not getting arrested."
Well, I would say he has definitely moved the bar up in that case.
Yes. All right. So Jan,
and Kai says, me, same person, 24 years tomorrow. Happy anniversary.
happy anniversary, Kai. And Don and I we will be celebrating our 19th anniversary in October.
Which is a good long marriage.
It is.
Yeah. That Don, not this Don.
Yes.
It
Hubby
gets
Don,
confusing
not.
sometimes.
Yeah. Hubby Don, not Reverend Don.
Yeah.
All right, Jan.
Well, we have been known to be mistaken for one another at public events on occasion.
When I'm making announcements and I get a little tongue-tied.
And Brian says, go Kai. And yes, indeed.
Okay, our next reading from Jan. My 2 sisters and I have, for the past 5 months, struggled to assist our brother with severe health issues and reckless financial spending and massive debts. We're exhausted in every way. Guidance from here forward, please.
Okay. Conscious mind, shut up. Shuffle the cards. And this is for whom again?
This is for Jan.
Jan. Okay. So I have drawn the Prince of Wands, the Four of Swords, and the Seven of Coins. I'm going to draw one more, and we'll see if they laugh at me or not.
Again.
So, the first card, the Prince of Wands, is energy being dissipated or not used in its best way, which is kind of what's being described. So I would say look at what you have done and don't repeat it. Look at other more practical courses of action. My impression from what Jan has said is that the brother perhaps is not listening to the need for a certain amount of restraint, perhaps financially. And that will have to be dealt with somehow, but not by indulgence. Whatever's been done in the past, look at new ways to do it. The Four of Swords is a timeout period. It requires patience, it requires rest, and it's saying, you've exhausted yourself. Take some time for yourself. even if it seems like a selfish thing to do, this is a moment when you and your sisters need to reboot yourselves a little bit. And the Seven of Coins says there are a number of things that can be done here. No clarity at this moment on which one, but a number of possibilities. But if you take a little bit of time to rest and then look at it, it will be much clearer. And again, whatever you do, make sure it's different from what you have done. And then we drew Temperance, and Temperance, again, is revitalization and rebirth. So you're going to find everything is going to get better, but you have to get through the present. And I think for me, the main message of this reading is, if you always do what you always did, you'll always get what you always got. Do something new, handle it in a different way, and take time for yourselves, and don't give all of your energy to this situation, or you won't be able to have enough energy to handle it. So take a little time to rebuild yourself, then look at your options, and do not repeat the past. And that's what I get.
Okay, well, I drew the Four of Swords. So,
Go figure.
first of all, you and your sisters need to take some time to rest and recharge. You can't help anyone if you're too wore out, pure and simple. Then I got the Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords says to review the past. What has worked, what has not worked. If what you are doing is not working, don't keep doing it. And then I got the Sun, which does indicate ultimately a happy outcome. But you are going to have to change what you are doing. So I hope that's helpful. And in the chat, Nicole says, congratulations to Brian on getting married. Been with my hubby 9 years. This is my 3rd. Sometimes you just got to kiss a lot of frogs before you find your prince or your princess.
Oh, those first 2 practice tries were well worth it, I'm sure. And Jan says, thank you both.
You are welcome, Jan.
You know, I come from the point of view that a relationship is not necessarily a failure simply because it's not permanent and not everything. Every step we take has its reason. And so, you know, the ones that did not last, that maybe did not turn out to be so good, they're part of how we got where we are. So in the end, it's all good.
This is very true. Let's see.
Usually it takes a couple of years to see that, though.
It does. It does. All right, so we have a request from Nicole. We've got a request from Swat Fan. We've got one from Jeff.
And we've got 10 minutes.
So we are not going to take any more requests tonight. We are going to do these 3.
And Nicole says, I learned a lot about myself and have 2 beautiful daughters. And isn't that wonderful?
It absolutely
That's what it's all about.
All right. So Nicole says, feeling a bit off, maybe a general reading is what I need. Thank you.
Okay.
I have a jumper.
Me too. That seems to be a theme.
It's definitely a theme tonight. All righty. I think it's your turn to go first.
So the jumper for me was the Queen of Wands. And the Queen of Wands is about being in a good position, about being satisfied, about having everything that you want and a little bit more. So it's saying that Nicole is going to find herself in a good position. Maybe it's already there, maybe it's coming up in the near future, but a good solid position. Then we drew the King of Wands, the Princess of Lamps, and Time. And the King of Wands is passion. And it can also be a card of success, but it's particularly a card of passion and it's a card of creativity. It's a card of being fully involved in what you're doing. So I think you're also going to find yourself doing things you care about, things that you're truly enjoying. The Princess of Lamps is using your spiritual abilities to pursue your goals. In the booklet, it's described as the traditional sorceress, but to all intents and purposes, it's using your magic, your spirituality, your higher self to pursue your goals. And then we have Time, and Time can. Okay, so you can't really see the card very well, but this is Time, and Time basically. It can mean a couple of different things depending, but in this case, I think I would say that it represents patience, giving things the time they need to grow, and being in the right cycle. So I think you're going to find yourself in a very good place. And there you go.
All right. So the jumper was Justice. And this is about getting what you have been working towards. Then I drew the Ace of Wands, and this is a card about passion and the things you are passionate about. I also drew the Chariot. So you are moving towards your goals. And then as a bit of caution, I drew the Future, which just means that you plot your course forward. Be careful you don't fly so close to the sun your wings melt. But I see this as overall a fortunate reading. And then next up is Swak Fan, who is asking about the outlook for the next month.
And you can't tell it, but I am shuffling, although you may see the shadow.
Well, we can sort of see your hands moving. I mean, I could come up here and show I'm shuffling.
And an escapee.
I'm surprised, I tell you.
And another escapee.
You're going to draw any cards at all. Or just do
and a third escapee. So the cards have given us our three cards. They jumped out as I was shuffling. Now, the first card is the King of Lamps. The King of Lamps is meditation, also being in touch with your higher self, being led by your spirituality. So it's saying in this coming month, make sure you keep that spiritual connection strong. Make sure that you're meditating, or the equivalent, that you're allowing your higher self to guide you. The Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands, again, is a card of happiness and satisfaction and having the things that you want, having enough for yourself and a little bit more. So it's saying you'll be in a good position. And then Justice. And Justice is getting what you've worked for. And I'm going to draw one more card, just so I have that experience in this reading. And I've drawn the Prince of Swords. And the Prince of Swords is healthy selfishness. And so along with getting what you've worked for is making sure that you're keeping your eye on what you need from the situation. And this brings us back to letting Spirit guide you. Make sure that you're not second-guessing yourself, underselling yourself, selling the farm, so giving away the farm, so to speak of. And if you do those things, it looks like a very, very good month. So there you go.
All right. So the first card I have for you is the Six of Cups. So this indicates you probably reuniting with someone from your past. It could be a friend. It could be a lover. Then we have the Wheel of Fortune. So this means you're going to get some absolute good luck. And finally, the Hermit. So follow your intuition. And I hope that is helpful. And Nicole, you are welcome. Nicole says, thank you so much for a very positive reading. We'll keep moving forward and we'll work my magic to the best of my ability. Blessings to you both.
Blessings to you.
All right. And Jeff says, I'm getting an offer for work with a realty business for contractor business. Are we a good fit for each other? Now, we have been so busy reading, we forgot to mention, if you'd like to book a private reading with either of us, you can do so at divinationtv.com.
Yes, indeed. You know you want one.
Yes, you do.
Do it now. No hard sell here.
And you can book one with Reverend Brian, too, when he gets back from his honeymoon.
Okay.
All right.
The cards I have drawn are Buckle Up, Buttercup, the Soul, and the King of Wands. So, the Eight of Wands says that this is going to move forward very quickly. So be prepared for things to move forward quickly. The Soul basically says, yes, you're in the right place at the right time. I would say it should be a good fit and you should be pleased with it. And the King of Wands is passion and happiness in what you're doing, which again says, yeah, I think it'll be a good fit. I think you'll be pleased. And there you go.
Okay. So I've got the Six of Cups, which is talking about a contact from a previous relationship. Possibly you got this contact through someone you know. Then I've got the Three of Cups, which is celebration. And then I've got the Two of Pentacles, which is perfecting your craft. So yes, I too would say this is going to be a good fit. And I want to thank everyone for joining us.
Yes,
I
indeed.
do see we've got one more question, but we did have to cut questions off. I'm so sorry. You can join us again next Thursday for Tarot Thursday, or you can go to divinationtv.com and book a private reading with either one of us.
Yes, indeed.
And will you close us out with a prayer, please?
Certainly. Divine Mother Goddess, Divine Father God, beloved ancestors, we thank you for all that you do for us in our lives, and we ask you to help us to have the answers that we need to chart our paths into the future. We ask you to help us to stay in close touch with our higher selves and to be led by Spirit as we move forward into the most positive experiences possible. Beloved Mother Goddess, beloved Father God, beloved ancestors, we thank you with great love and respect, and from respect, knowing you are always with us still, we thank you for your presence. And may you be blessed now and always. And may you be blessed now and always as well.
Blessed be everyone. Thank you for joining us.